Hey all you Splinterheads, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I hope everyone will consider liking and subscribing and ringing the bell to get information on when I post new content. With that said, I'm Bronze Dragon and I like to bring you content on a weekly basis, most of the time more than a few times a week, about what's going on in Splinterlands, how I'm playing, how I'm quote-unquote investing, and how I'm approaching the game, things I like, things I don't like, and I'm really interested in the conversation around it. So if you have a comment on what I have to say, one way or the other, go ahead and post it below and we'll discuss it. So conversation is good. So with that said, today's my usual Friday video, but I'm approaching it a little bit differently. In the past, I did card shopping while, go ahead and videoing it, but I found that some of it stretched out and it might be a little bit boring on the watching side. So what I've done is I've went ahead and done my shopping for today, and some people may not consider it very glamorous, but it's a needed approach what I did today in shoring up my low-end cards, because they build the base of your deck. Yeah, the higher-end legendaries are flashy and everything, but the commons and rares, they really shore up the bulk of your deck. So you need to make sure that you have them leveled up correctly to whatever level your summoners you're playing can cast. And I really believe that will strengthen your deck a lot than randomly throwing in a few 1BCX legendaries. Now there are some arguments, and there's some exceptions to the rule. There's some 1BCX legendaries that are really powerful, but I'll stand behind that. Now with that said, let's go ahead and review. Let's go ahead and do a few tasks that I do on a weekly basis that fall under the account maintenance. If you're new here, I have my main account split into two parts, really, two accounts. One account, a sub account, is where I throw my rentals, and I don't have a whole lot. I mostly put my gold cards on that and a few other cards that I feel that people may want to rent out. At this point, that's like cards that are not 1BCX. It's definitely really not worth it to throw 1BCX, common and rares on the market, because you're just wasting time and wasting your ECR. So with that said, let's go ahead and look at what my rental, just switching my windows around here. So I rent with Splinterlands, and that works within Discord. It has a very easy setup. A lot of people, some people who are not familiar with using command line in Windows or Linux or anything like that, may be kind of a little bit iffy on using this. But it's just basic commands, and it all operates within Splinterlands. I can do a video on it if everybody wants, just post in the comments. But otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going into Splinterlands within Discord, which this is a private chat, and you perform your commands in the private chat. And what I'm going to do is check on the status of my account. We can see the status as of last night because it posts it to you once nightly. But let's go ahead and do status on Dragon, which is my rental account, and it's not coming up for some reason. Oh, I used a question mark instead of $sign. That's the reason. I don't do it this often. Somebody out there in the crowd was pointing that out automatically. He used a question mark instead of a $sign. So anyway, let's check on this. Kind of funny way. Rentals have been way down. I mean, look at this. I only owe 78 DEC for the week. I only collected just over 4,100, which is better than nothing, and that's why I got it up there, right? For just a common, just a steady flow of DEC to come through, but still the rentals have been way down. So anyway, the takeaway here is I owe 78 DEC for my weekly usage of Splinter rents. Let's go ahead and go back, and then I just go in 78 and just send the player Splinter rents. I know this is a little bit boring, but I throw it in there just in case some new players are interested in getting into the rental market. There's several different services you can use. I just happen to use Splinter rents. Okay, so we got that done, and I also usually like to go in and yes, I've got a brawl. I've got to do my brawl fights today, but let's go into buildings, and we're almost there. We're all pitching in, trying to get that guild store leveled up, so I'm going to donate 100. Okay, let me get a drink of this morning coffee here. Okay, so let's hop over here to Peak Monsters, and I'm over here because I want to go through what I purchased today. I first of all concentrated on my if you've been with me the last few weeks, I've been looking at the rewards cards, because the older set of rewards cards are getting very close. The commons and rares, the commons mostly, are getting very close to being out of print. The numbers kind of look like by the end of the year, maybe second week in January, that older set of rewards cards, including the Venari and things of that nature, will be out of print. The rares and the higher ones are a little bit lagging behind, but you get the idea. Don't expect those older rewards cards to be around much longer. And the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because we're going into a situation where it's on the table that rewards cards may become soul-bound. And there's a whole discussion around that, and I discussed it in another video. But the takeaway there is that if they're soul-bound purely and flat, just soul-bound, then you can't sell those cards. Basically, the 1 cent cards are going to be gone. There's not going to be 1 cent cards. And this isn't investment advice or anything, but that's just the nature of the beast. The reason why we have 1 cent cards is because really these mass bot farms have been farming on a daily basis and flooding the market with hundreds of thousands copies of these low-end common cards, and thus they're down to, if you buy multiple, some of these examples I'm going to give you today, I bought multiple BCX copies of these, and I was getting it for 0.4, 0.5 of a cent, right, per BCX. So those are going to be gone because, and that's part of the point. That's one of the main points behind going soulbound from the Splinterlands team's point of view. There's a whole discussion around that, and most every YouTuber that covers this topic has voiced their opinion on it. I have too in another video, and I'm not going to go into that right now. That would make this video much too long. But anyway, I'm trying to shore up my my cards that I believe going forward are bound to increase in value by several times. If that happens, if all the rewards cards go soulbound, these cards got to jump. And it's much easier for a 1 penny card to go 5 or 10 times. It's easier for a 1 penny card to go to 10 cents worth than it is for a dollar card to go $10 worth. Basic, basic idea. So let's go into what I bought today. Let's scroll down, see where we started. I removed a bunch of cards from the rental market that I didn't need. Let's see here. Okay, so the first thing I covered, yeah, go ahead and laugh now, but I did not have a max level heatsmith. Okay, so I went through several of these purchases and maxed out my heatsmith. So now I have a top level heatsmith, which is, and I'm not going to do this for every card. There we go, level 10. So, and I combined them. If you're not familiar with Peak Monsters, it's a great website. You can go under your account and go under Profile, or My Explorer rather. You go under My Explorer and you can see your market history, everything combined that's been done. So I combined those. Here's another purchase I made. Oh yeah. So I maxed him out. Bloodmaker. I still have some other single copies, but I found a decent deal, whereas I was getting it for 0.04 cent, or 0.4 of a cent, 40% of a cent. And I combined him, did some transfers. Came over. Maxed out my Twilight Basilisks. Combined. Seedsmith, same idea. Basically, I went on and I sorted by, cheapest cards, and I was going through and maxing out what I could with the money involved. And if you're new here, I allot myself $25 US per week and keep it on a budget so I don't overspend per week. That might be a lot for some people, but for me, at one point last year, in the last fall, I was getting to the point where I was buying several things per week, and it just added up way too much, and I had to put a budget on it, so to speak. So anyway, I try to keep my budget at $25 per week. Last week was a special week because of Thanksgiving. I did up my budget, and that's an interesting video if you want to check that out. Kind of a shopping spree, kid in a candy store type thing. Okay, next combination. Yeah, one of my favorite cards. And also, it's rare. For new players, these cards I'm going through, definitely great value. And there's a big difference between price and value, and Dwayne goes over that in a lot of his videos. But if you're just coming into the game, a lot of these cards I'm showing right now are very priced very low right now, and they're bound to go up. But from the player's point of view, you get good, strong, solid playing cards for cheap, and you can get in and you can buy either a max level card and just be done with it, and you don't have to level it up, or you can say buy at level 4 or 6 and just have a good solid card for very cheap. So I maxed out my Crystal Smith. And I went in for the Hardy Stonefish. Now, Hardy Stonefish is one of those cards that's up a little bit lately, but it's a good, solid tanking card in low mana battles. And I've noticed that my bot, the Archmage bot that plays my main account, uses it, picks it up a lot. So I went ahead and I'm trying to see whether I maxed it out or no. This is one of the ones where it was at a price that it wasn't, it's like I said, the price was going up a little bit. So what I did was I took it to level 8 instead of level 10, because level 8 is the max that my highest summoner can cast currently. So that's what I did there, just to save a little bit of money on that. But also a good solid card. More stonefish. And I've always liked the lava spider, but what I did was once again also brought it up to level 8 for the same reason as the stonefish. It's a little bit more expensive, and these are Chaos Legion cards, so they'll be around for a little bit longer than these other rewards cards. So I was mainly focusing on maxing out the rewards cards, and then these Chaos Legion cards I took to 8 due to the price. Combination. Oh, okay, so we got the Knifer. I like the Venari Knifer and I like the Venari Scout. Both good solid cards. As you can see, I took the Knifer. I did max out the Knifer. No, I took him to level 8. Max will be 10 on this one. Good solid card. My bot plays that a lot. And the Snitch, also a good card. I get tired of saying this is a good card. I feel that, I was talking to my brother the other day, I feel that this Chaos Legion expansion was really a good solid expansion of playing cards. I would say there's probably 10 to 15% of them that are, I don't want to say bad cards, but I want to say have their particular uses, are only good in particular cases. But largely, most of the expansion is really good solid playing cards. Let's look at the Snitch. I like the Snitch. Once again, I brought him up to level 8. Good solid with reach right there in that second spot, you know. So have always liked her. Have always liked her since she came out. Let's go to rare. Celestial Harpy. Took it up to level 5. She picked up the extra power of True Strike. So not only does she have opportunity and flight, but she has True Strike now. If you like playing life, you need Celestial Harpy. And for that matter, I would also consider, where is it? Another one common I like. Oh, Stitch Leech also. Now this one I still need to get up to level 8, but that didn't make the cut this week. If you like the whole sneak type deck, you know, the hand that you play where it's loaded with sneak and also opportunity, those two go great in hand. So, and the last one, the Guardian. So Morale Guardian. Healer, what can you say? Slides into most decks until you get, I guess, low to medium sized decks. I mean, you could throw it in a higher end deck, but probably too low of mana, but good solid healer. And a healer benefits most hands. So let's do that. Okay, so that sums up really what I've bought today. I do have a few credits left over, about $3, $3.50 worth, but I haven't used that on anything yet. This video is getting a little bit long, but what I did in the season roundup of chests, I did get enough merits to go ahead and buy a Gladius case. So let's go ahead and buy a Gladius case, and we'll open it up and finish off the video. Kind of a nice way to finish off a video. Everybody likes opening a pack now and again. So let's go ahead and do that. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. And just a plain old pack, but we'll see what we got. Maybe we can advance some of these cards. I think that gives me enough to advance him, I believe. Let's go check it out. Let's sort by Gladius. I can't advance her yet. Looking for Cutter Breeze. Why am I not seeing him? Here we go. No, I already advanced him last time. Okay. Yeah. A lot of these commons I have at level 2. I'm just kind of waiting to stack up to level 3. And that's a whole nother thing, because if you level up your Gladius cards, your guild still has to level up the guild in a certain area to be able to allow you to use those leveled up Gladius cards in the actual events. So that's a whole nother discussion. But I just wanted to say thanks for stopping by. I'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Please leave a comment if you have any ideas on where I should go from here with my card, building my deck, keeping in mind that I'm not necessarily approaching it from making a money standpoint, but more making my deck stronger. With that said, I hope your family is happy and healthy, and I will see you on the flip side.